Gentlemen, first of all, it's wonderful having you here, Ishmael Alrik. It's first I want to congratulate you on the Impact Media Award tonight, and I also want to congratulate you on all the other awards. I mean, it just looking at the website yesterday, I was blown away. Many to mention, but especially Sundance, and I want to talk first about the idea for the film. I mean, maybe this is just me, but I always want to know how it all started.
I think the executive producer will answer that one. How did this come about?
After working on different films, I've been reading script of different films, and I saw that there's some untold stories need to be told. And I came out with Muslim Christians comes together in the mosque and trying to protect each other, trying to see the story of Rwanda, how development comes together, how the unity reconciliation, how the church accord trying to, the process of post-construction process. So they come up with the idea, look, how can this be in the film?
Mm-hmm.
So this some research with that, they're doing interviews, the survivor genocide, the muftis, the priests, and all together make the film.
I know that you are of Rwandan background, so was it particularly moving for you? Did you feel like it was a story you wanted to tell because of that at all, or it's just an interesting story and it was a coincidence?
It was a very interesting story to be told. And being Rwandan also, it was part of my responsibility to tell that story that is being an untold story of the Muslim Christians comes together and protect one another. It was a very important story to be told. And also seeing the level of development that in my country, Rwanda, has been for so far, using the strategy of creating the unity and reconciliation among Rwandese. Having a church court in place, so it was a very important story to be told.
Alrik, I want to find out from you when it first came to you, what was your idea? Did you think automatically, oh my God, I have to do this? Did you? I mean, it is such a moving story.
Well, Ishmael and I met through crazy circumstances. I lived and worked in West Africa for years, and when I left West Africa, I ended up in NYU Film School, and a friend of mine, Joshua Rod, ended up going to Rwanda and met Ishmael, and they became good friends. And they worked on this research, and they did a lot of research, and Ishmael and I emailed for years just about film in general, and in 2009 he called me and he said, I have some grant money, and I want to do this project about Rwanda. When he mentioned to me that the Mufti of Rwanda had issued this fatwa forbidding Muslims from participating in the genocide and inadvertently saved so many lives, I was stunned that I hadn't heard the story before. Like, this big international incident happened, and this huge chunk of the story was not told. So as soon as I heard that, I said, Ishmael, absolutely. In any capacity, I will come to Rwanda and help you in any way to help make this movie. Initially, I wasn't supposed to direct it or write it. It was just really just to go and help him. And after getting to Rwanda and talking to Ishmael and seeing how so many people were affected by the genocide, the film kind of took shape out of that actual physical interaction, touching and meeting Rwandan people.
I mean, you touched on a very important point. As I was doing research about this, I found, everything, obviously, it's such a horrendous thing, such a horrendous incident, and there is no mention, at least in what I saw, there is no mention of something that is so touching and so human and so wonderful. And so, I mean, it seems to me that this is a message you were very keen on conveying and having it have such a positive human note.
Yeah. A part of the purpose of the film was to remind people that tragedies, no matter where they take place, overseas, Africa, the United States, they interfere with people's lives. They are not the definition of people's lives. And the Rwandan genocide happened to Rwanda based on a history that preceded the people that were there. But it wasn't a defining moment for them. It's something that altered their reality. And the reality is, like everywhere, people are trying to live. They're trying to be happy. They're trying to work together. They're trying, there's more good out there than bad. And we just wanted to focus on that humanity, focus on that hope, even in the midst of a horrible situation. Because in any war, in any tragedy, life still goes on.
Right. I think that's a very key point, is focusing on the hope and focusing on the positive side. And As a producer, I want to ask you about some of the difficulties and the obstacles you guys faced in terms of making it happen. I mean, it's wonderful to talk about an idea that you were passionate about, but then turning it into an actual film, and then the road to making the film a success.
It was, let's say, it was one of the journey. Well, making this film was under circumstances, deep intentions. One of the limited resources to make that film, we didn't have enough money to make to turn out the feature film.
The story of filmmaking.
Right. And also the skill set was kind of, this project also was a part of education. Most of the key positions being held by Rwandan crew, my place. And of course we had to learn from the process. Others, come from the stage, UK and France, so they all together. So combining those positions, there's people who are higher experienced, and then those who are learning from the process. With a very short time to produce the film was not easy, and we had a very tight schedule with the European Commissioner. We shot this film in about 16 days of shot, and the script has been ready in about 2 weeks.
16 days of shot. Wow.
So
such a short time.
it was that I said it wasn't under circumstances because we had a very short time, very limited budget, very limited skill set, and we had to make this film. So altogether was, decision has to be made and make this film no matter what.
And, he didn't mention the fact that it was rainy season, that it was grasshopper mating season.
Wait, grasshopper mating season?
That meaning we were inundated with millions of grasshoppers while we were shooting. And it was biblical.
I'm sure they're not very happy with you guys interrupting their mating
season. Yeah,
season.
exactly. And they didn't really listen to us. They didn't take directions very well. It was
spoken like a true director.
But there was a miracle every day. Every day someone did something magical on that set to make it happen, and that's why we knew we were doing something special. Every day something happened that kept us going, kept us alive.
That is really amazing. It's like a sign.
You're on the set where grasshopper. I remember one of the circumstances. They wasn't the set a grasshopper get one of the lights being broken.
Oh my God!
And we're in the middle of the shoot, so we think probably we're gonna send this right to Kenya because we got all the equipment from Kenya. And then a guy who was a grip guy said, "I'm gonna fix these." The guy stand up and they fix it. We keep on, shooting. It was like every single day was a miracle happened to make it just happen, as my director mentioned that. Right.
That's amazing. And I told you the grasshoppers weren't happy that you were disturbing their mating season. So once the film was made, the road for any film to getting exposure, to getting, any measure of success. What happened after that, and how did it end up reaching? Did you guys, were you conscious, okay, we've got something really special here, we want to take it to festivals and so on?
Well, Ishmael made it clear in the beginning that he wanted the film to reach large audience. He said it could have been a short film with the money that we had in the time, but he wanted to reach a larger audience. And so I said, okay. And in that, he actually trusted us to take the film back to the U.S. We edited it on our own time with no money. My editor was a undergrad at NYU. We edited and started out in her dorm room.
Oh my goodness.
And finished up in my mother's basement. And we raised some additional funds and worked with as many grant organizations that we could, including my credit cards, and we submitted to NYU. To NYU, we submitted to Sundance, and we were just kind of shocked that we got in, and that was just an amazing world premiere. And Ishmael came from Rwanda for that premiere, and the reception at Sundance was so electric and so powerful that we really knew we had something. There was something there that people wanted and needed, and rather than like play an exclusivity game and just like we have this special film, let's just bring it to the upper echelons, we took it on the road and we showed it to as many communities, interfaith communities, Muslim communities, Christian communities, as many places where people wanted a little piece of hope and faith as possible, and that's the journey the film has been on since then.
It sounds like you guys really kind of waited out and went on the side of getting the message out there rather than being, the kind of star filmmakers. You know what I mean? And I think that that's so important.
that was I mean, as he mentioned, that was the objective actually. There's I'm Muslim, right? And this story, if you see the way it's shaped, is what happened in Rwanda, where they're all praying with the Muslim community. So hearing that some of the countries, the Muslim are being dehumanized because of some of the Muslims' actions themselves.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is totally different. They have to learn of the experience of Rwanda is that Muslims and the Christians comes together and they protect under circumstances exactly. So I wanted to reach that story is going outside Rwanda, that people see what Islam is. Is, I mean, we all should recognize that Islam is a religion of peace, democracy, and justice, dignity. See, not holding off bombs, going everywhere, and the cause of the people. But it was a very, very deeply touching to me seeing that stories, the newspapers that I watched 9/11. It was a very shock to us, to Africans.
Of course.
So I was like, how can someone use Quran to kill others? Then we all read Quran, and it doesn't say that. So when I had Alec ask me that, how do you want to take this film? I said, as high levels as possibly, as any of the audiences. So the journey was hard, but I can say that we made it today.
I just want to ask you, I mean, winning an award like Sundance, I'm sure has a certain, sweet pleasure to it, but receiving an award from a Muslim advocacy organization must have a completely different feeling or a completely different taste to it. So I just want to hear your feedback on that.
That actually, when we found out about the Impact Award, I think showing the film in Rwanda and Rwandans being proud was our Academy Award. Because just when we made it for Rwandans, we wanted them to be proud. But this is like our Golden Globe in a certain respect, because
I like the analogy. I get it.
Because we made this film with the Muslims of Rwanda. We shot it in a mosque. The only reason we were able to shoot it in 16 days is because 8 of those days we shot in a mosque, and we used every corner of the mosque. The Muslim community came out and supported us. We worked with an organization called Association des Musulmans au Rwanda, which is the Muslim organization in Rwanda, and they really, this was for Muslims as much as it was for Rwandans. And so it was like, this award is like a coming home. Like everybody on my team, we held our heads up high and we were so proud. I get goosebumps sitting here, and I'm almost more excited about this than we were about the Sundance thing. I didn't expect to win at Sundance, and there was an electricity there, but that's a validation of your artwork.
Exactly.
This was a validation of the message and the work that goes beyond what we were doing at Sundance. This is the real work.
Beautiful, perfect statement. Yes, absolutely.
I think he mentioned exactly what we need to be mentioned, but being a Muslim in Rwanda, where before 94 was like 1.5 Muslim community. Being a Muslim in Rwanda and come up started the Muslim, shot in the mosque, and being awarded by a Muslim organization is, to me, I don't know, it's huge. It's deeply huge to me. It's again a humanizing. I was trying to say like this word. There's a lot of Muslims being killed during genocide. I could completely dedicate the award for those innocent, and in general to the people of Rwanda who fled during genocide. So to me, this word is like, I might say Alhamdulillah as a Muslim could say, but he mentioned a lot of what need to be said. This is, thank you for the impact making it happen. That's all.
Well, gentlemen, thank you. And congratulations. Congratulations on all the different awards, the awards for the artwork and the awards for the message. And congratulations on making it happen. And I look forward to seeing it so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Thank